Okay, awesome. Thank you everyone for joining again today. Today is July 18th, and this is the monthly CalGrows Grantee engagement session. And we've got a couple things to go over and a great discussion hopefully to happen later in the session. So our agenda today, we don't really have any welcome or introductions. It's just me. So Renita, as we know, has moved on to bigger things. And Elsa, who was the analyst for the program, she was actually retired and she came back to help out, and she is back to retirement. So it's just me here, but I am doing my best to hold down the fort and get everybody everything that they need. So I do have one reminder coming up. We'll go over a couple updates, and then we can discuss today's topic, and then any future sessions that I wanted to review with you guys. So just a quick reminder, the purpose of this meeting. So it's basically just a community of practice. It's an opportunity for us all to get together and collaborate and talk about different programmatic topics and items that might be able to help other people in their programs. If there's things that you're having issues with, or that you want to try to float ideas and get feedback from the group, this is definitely the place and time to do that. So supporting you all to be able to not have to reinvent the wheel if you don't need to, and get some support from your teammates here. Okay, the one reminder that I do have, if you have not yet updated the course difficulty for your courses on the CalGrows website, here are the information to do this. Now that I'm saying here it is, let me go ahead and drop in the slides into the chat. And you can have the PDF of these slides, and then you'll be able to access these links. So if you have not done so already, we would really appreciate if you can go ahead and do that as soon as possible. And that will be really helpful for our learners to be able to navigate the courses and what is best for their experience and level and their need for learning. Okay, so very exciting news. We actually have, we're going to be implementing the level 4 bonus. I had mentioned this last meeting, and so I have more information this time around. And so basically what this is right now we have, the two different tracks, track 1, track 2, and then we have levels 1, 2, and 3. So we are creating a level 4, which is an additional bonus opportunity for learners to earn incentives if they complete levels 1, 2, and 3. So just a little bit clarification. So level 1 on either track, you can do 15, up to 50 or 15 hours twice. So to complete and consider level 1 completed and approved, it would just need to be completed at the 15 hours. And then level 2 and level 3 completed, and then they would be eligible for level 4 for an additional bonus. So because this is going to be a change in the system, we don't have the time to implement it in the system. So what we're doing instead is doing an application by invitation. So CalGrows is going to be reviewing all of the applicants that have been approved and completed the level 1, 2, and 3 of either track 1 or track 2 or both, and reach out to those applicants directly with an invitation link to apply for this level 4 bonus. So it will not be, level 4 bonus will not be available on the CalGrows website. It will just be through email communication. So with that, I'm going to say, please be patient. This is where we practice our patience. So just to wait for that email to come through for those applicants. If you don't hear back by, mid-August, then shoot us an email. We can get that going for you guys. So Thanks. Thanks, Donna. um, so this is really exciting news. This is fantastic. Another opportunity since we're not able to prorate the retention bonus. This is another way that we can support our learners. So, okay, another big thing that we have coming up is a huge media push. Oh, wait. So, Katie, you have your hand up?
Yes, thank you so much. Sorry for interruption. I just wanted to ask if I understood it correctly. Are those level 4 bonuses for the community, I'm sorry, the direct care workers, or it's for everyone who is in your program? Let's say if we have both groups, the caregivers and our direct care workers, who those bonuses apply for?
It's for all direct care workers that have been submitting for incentives through the CalGrows website. So if you're paying your direct care workers directly through your program and you want to implement like another retention bonus, that would be like a budget revision, and we can discuss that separately one-on-one. But if your direct care workers are submitting for their incentives through the CalGrows website, then they would be eligible for that.
Okay, no, our community health workers do not do the website. We have couple who try now to log in and register for classes, although that's where the confusion is. When we originally posted our classes availability, we kind of put the community, right? We kind of put the days when those classes are available, and we are way past that. And we get an avalanche of calls to ask for people to register. So it's unclear how long we understand that we cannot do anything past September 30th. Is it correct?
Yes. So for your payments to your for your program and expenses for your program is September 30th deadline. For participants that are submitting through the CalGrows website, it is August 31st.
Oh, may I confirm then? So we don't have any classes in September. This correct. So the cutoff for classes is August, correct? Or when is the hard stop for classes?
The hard stop for classes is the end of September.
But then we submit the paperwork. How much time we have to submit the paperwork for the expenses which were in September?
That would be 30 days after the close of your program, or October 31st.
Up to what?
October 31st.
Up to October 31st. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the follow-up question, my apologies if I take too much time. For example, we have some funds which are not appropriated, and we had Ventura County Area Agency on Aging asking us if we can redirect the funds for them because they're going to be running a special forum for fall prevention. So they want to involve caregivers because they have huge outreach to caregivers from community for training. And if we are allowed to use these funds, and I'm not sure, because if I apply for a grant, if I apply for budget reallocation, it would take some time, and they need to know like yesterday. What would you recommend me to do?
Okay, I think that this is a discussion for offline.
Okay, perfect.
I have questions, so let's connect. And you need to know right away.
Kind of, because their event on September 27th, and they require a lot of outreach. So, and I kind of don't know what to say.
Okay, well, we'll connect after this meeting. If you can just stay on this meeting and we can discuss after. Does that sound okay?
We'll do that, of course.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Katie. All right. We do have a question in the chat. How much is level 4 bonus? That would be, I believe what we have proposed is $500. So that it'll be at least $500. So I will definitely confirm. And then when I send these slides through email, I will put the definitive number on there so that you all will know. The final report, yes, if you can submit the final report as well by October 31st, then that would be fantastic. Just trying to align the deadline dates to make it easy for everyone to remember. So your financial closeout is due October 31st, and then the final narrative report is due October 31st as well. So thank you for those questions. Okay. All right. So media push. Yes. So even though we're at the very tail end of the program, there's still a lot of funding that we have available. And one thing with this funding, if we don't use it, we lose it. And we don't want to lose it. We want to get it in the hands of the direct care workers as much as possible. So even at this point, we're doing another and continued media push from the CDA level in partnership with PCG. And I think it's CGI is the other organization that we're working with for media. And so you're going to see hopefully a lot more people that are coming through and doing your training. So a heads up that you're going to probably get another wave of people or continued wave or an increase of the wave. So hopefully that's the case, and we can get more incentives out for our participants. So some things that would be really fantastic to get your feedback on for CalGrows in doing this media push. These feedback questions are things that we might be able to use as information and support for CalGrows in showing how impactful it has been, or that it will be for people that are participating in this. So for the people that are in your employment that have been taking and participating in CalGrows, has this improved your retention? What percent? So like, it doesn't need to be a specific percent, but if you have, just a general 50% or 25%, then that is always really helpful for us to have. Or the supported learners, are they able to promote? How many were able to promote, or how many are on track to promote? Is there improved quality of care, reduction in incident reports? If so, by how many? Again, just general amounts. And then, of course, we've definitely heard time and time again that there's improved job satisfaction. So that's always wonderful. But just hearing from you guys that if there was what is the percentage as far as people that are expressing that they're more confident in their work, they're more excited to come to work, they feel better about what they're doing, and things like that. And so if you're able to provide these responses, I didn't have time to set up a survey for these, that I will get the survey out for everybody. But if you're able to think about these a little bit before the survey comes out, and then you can just plug it in really quickly, then that would be really helpful for us to channel and focus our media push moving forward. A couple other things is there are actually some opportunities for partnering with CDA. If your organization, or if your direct care workers, or if your trainers that want to be featured by any of the CDA media outreach that we're doing right now, let us know. We would love to be able to feature you all specifically. Featuring the program, telling the details is wonderful to get the information out, but being able to have discussing and having words, coming from you guys all in the program is definitely very helpful, and will speak directly to direct care workers because they are a part of your community. So there's also media interviews that have been asked for. So if anybody is willing to do a media interview, there's an opportunity for that. We would love to feature you. So let me know. You can type in the chat here if you're interested. You say just type in me, or you can email cagrows@aging.ca.gov. And we would love, love, love to have, okay, Rohit. We would love to be able to have you guys as a part of that campaign. So yeah, please go ahead, drop your info in there. You can send the email with a contact name, phone, email. If you have some of the questions answered from the previous slide, then that would be, fantastic. That's other talking points during an interview or, during the feature of the campaign. So definitely would love to do that with you all. Okay, so we already went over this slide. This is a duplicate. I'm going to blame my COVID fog on that one. Okay, so for today's focus, we got some action here in the chat. So let's see. Okay, wonderful. Okay, perfect. To clarify, can we continue to hold courses through August 31st when the last day we can have staff employed by the grant? The final, yes, yeah, you can definitely hold courses through August 31st, even through September 30th. The direct care workers can only submit for financial incentives on the CalGrows website, as that deadline is August 31st, but you can certainly hold courses beyond that through September 30th and even beyond, which is what this session that we're going to be discussing. But the kicker is that the course completions won't be eligible for incentives after August 31st. So so the courses are still available, the training, the skill building, all the wonderful things that the training does offer will still be available. If you're able to still host them, you can still do that, but there just won't be the incentive part of it as well. So yeah, so okay, so moving forward, so what I wanted to discuss in this session is service design of continued training courses. So in reading all of the reports that we have received from everybody, this has been just a hugely impactful program. A huge part of that, of course, is the financial piece that helps with the direct care workers with the pay rate that is, yeah, they need better pay. And supporting them with that and then helping with retention. But the other flip side of this is getting the knowledge in the hands of the direct care workers so that they are feeling more confident in their skills. They maybe have a career path that they're able to work towards, and these trainings are helping them to work towards those career goals, or even change in career shifting. And even, in the big picture of things, for people that are older and people with disabilities are getting the most exceptional care that they deserve. And so what we would like to do, CDA, of course, we've mentioned before, we're really trying to build up a platform so that we can host these trainings as built into the contracts. Any trainings that are created using the CalGrows funds, we have copyright access to. So we might be asking for copies of your trainings. If you have those recorded at some point, then we'll be asking, so then we can continue to host those and have those available through a CDA standpoint. But this discussion is if you all are thinking or have planned of keeping and retaining these courses that have been recorded or will be recorded, and having them in some type of platform to be able to access in the future when the CalGrows program has sunsetted. So if you have, sorry, excuse me. So if you do have a platform already in place and you're just able to upload these, or are these going to be, if you do have them, are they going to be specific for people that are internal for just your employees, or could these be courses that are available to the public? And if so, what is that platform that you're using? And additional questions might be beyond that, as far as, what's the cost of that? Is it annual? Is it by account? There's other things that we can discuss with that, but just starting here and seeing what people's thoughts are. Have you thought of this? Have you done research? Do you have a plan already in place? So I would love to maybe break out into maybe 3 groups. Yeah, we can probably do 3 groups, maybe 2. Let's do 3 groups. And but what I do ask, because I'm here by my lonesome, if I can have, one person from the other groups that I'm not a part of to maybe ask like to act as a lead, then that would be fantastic. And have your help to lead discussion and report out to the group, then that would be fantastic. I am dropping the discussion topics and questions here into this chat. So if you don't mind just going ahead and grabbing that. And so then when we do go into our breakout groups, then you'll have access to the topics, because I believe that once you go into the groups, you won't have access to these anymore. So, all right, so I am going to stop recording here. All right, everyone, thank you so much. I think we have everybody back here. So definitely looking forward to hearing everything. What I asked of my group, which I'll ask of all the groups, if you are plan to use a program that for hosting the trainings, if you can go ahead and put the name into the chat for everyone, that would be fantastic. That would be helpful for everybody to have the spelling right, as well as it'll be in the notes. So when I get the notes from this chat and put them together to share with everyone, then we'll all have access to it together. So okay, so I can, we've got some people here. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll start with meeting room 2, since I was in there. And my team, if I miss something, please please let me know, chime in. So most everybody does plan to continue hosting these trainings, which is fantastic to hear. And most of them are what they hope to be is public, but there are some that will just remain for internal employees. And what I thought was really a great thought is having it incorporated as part of the onboarding process for the internal employees. So that's such a great idea. And so yeah, so it looks like most everyone is wanting to do these for the public. Yeah. And then there's one that is, the trainings are actually done in person right now. So they'll be looking into possibly getting those recorded or not recorded, but through Zoom in the future. So, so yeah, they did note the programs that they're using in the chat here. So I think that pretty much sums it up. Anyone from my group have anything that they want to add to that or elaborate on? No, okay. All right. So let's go with meeting room one. And if anyone or the lead person um, voted, probably voted, is able to share, we'd love to hear from you. Let's see who is in group one. Abdullah, Becky, Jason, Josh, Katie, Lena, Marisol, Rohit, and Sua.
I can report. Sorry, I didn't remember which room we were.
Oh,
That's why I stayed quiet.
no,
So
no
thank,
worries.
thank you for reading out our names. But I don't think we got to everybody, but we did get through most. And what I shared with the room was it's pretty cool how vast the different types of projects and learning platforms we have, provider types, etc. But it sounded like, and you want just a summary, right?
Yeah, that would be great.
It sounded like most want would have really liked to be able to continue access to the courses, and it sounds like financially that might not be possible. And then there was also a few folks that said they're working on seeing how they can have that housed on their LMS for free. And chime in, guys, if I have not covered everything, but for the most part, either it was already decided that financially it didn't make sense, or there were
Mhm.
folks trying to see how they could do it where the public could access it and it could be free. Uh,
Mhm.
and I think I was a unique outlier because we are a provider that is also providing these trainings to our own employees, but we are also we're partnering with our state association. So ours is a little different where we will be housing the Zoom recordings of the trainings that we did live on the state association's website. And that will be accessed by adult day healthcare, adult day program providers who are members of the state association. So that was like a little bit different,
Mhm.
but it sounded like most people did want to be able to continue accessing it. Um, and they shared some of the LMS platforms in the chat of
Mhm.
what they would be using to maintain. I hope
That's
I did a good summary, guys. Sorry if I left anything out.
awesome. Thank you so much, Lena. I really appreciate your summary with that and helping out with helping out with for me since I yeah, I'm here. Um but that's fantastic. Yeah, and that brings me to thinking of, the CDA platform as well, of making sure, that of course would be public and made available to you all. So if you have those recorded, making sure those get to CDA, so that way when we have that availability and access to get them up and running, we can share with you all, and you will then be able to, give your workers, or any other direct care workers that of access to the trainings without needing to host them yourself. Like, we can carry that cost for you. So definitely something. It's a long-term project though, so it's not going to be something that's going to be available by the end of CalGrows or even at the end of the year. So but it's definitely something that I'm trying to help put forward, as well as our the CDA policy, the division chief as well. So we're all on the same page of wanting to get that up and running. So hopefully that is a little bit helpful for those that are financially unable to keep it sustained. So okay, and then room number 3.
Hi, I'm Denise from Ventura Training Institute. I was the one that took notes in break room 3. And I would say across the board, I believe majority, if not all, of our providers in this room are planning to continue the training.
Mhm,
There was a mix of different types of platforms and methods to issue classes. Some were hybrid, some were online, some were in person. I think depending on the type of course and the region that it was offered, some just made sense for certain types of ways to be administered. I think
mhm,
universally, all providers were concerned about the funding to be able to support these types of programs, especially at the scale that we're offering it through CalGrows right now. So a lot of them mentioned about trying to find additional funding opportunities to support the development and progress that they made with CalGrows. Other ones have mentioned maybe trying to adjust how they're offering the programs, either reducing the amount of people or keeping it internal and then developing a pathway to get it to the public.
mm,
Um, Majority of them also reported seeing substantial improvement either internally with their employees or with their caregivers that they support and the general public wanting these classes to continue. So I think it's just trying to find the method to be able to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, that's such a great point of, it not being able to do it at the scale, but what adjustments can be made to be able to still offer the trainings to some capacity. Some is better than none. So that's awesome. Thank you so much, Denise. I really appreciate your help and taking those notes. So thank you.
No worries.
All right. Okay, so I'll just add one more time. So if you have not put into the chat the name of a training platform that you're using or looking into yet into the chat, if you can go ahead and add that, that would be really helpful for us. That will be helpful in terms of spelling as well as to reference later on when I'm sharing the notes and results and information from this collaboration meeting. So please go ahead and drop that in there. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, and so is there anyone else that wanted to share any thoughts or share any information about their project or anything else as far as sharing your trainings and continuing the access for them? Just opening the floor in general. No, okay. No worries at all. Just wanted to give the opportunity. Um, yes, Marisol. You have a question about incentive and dates.
Yes, so I understand that the 31st is the last day to submit incentive claims.
Mhm.
Um, I have a participant that will finish track 2 completely, but for level 3, her last month to submit a pay stub is August. She most likely won't have her last pay stub for August by the 31st to submit it. Would you recommend her employer write a letter verifying that she did complete those hours before she receives her pay stub or
Yes.
okay.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Thank
So the training, not the training, I'm sorry, the how-to video that we have posted on the CalGrows website has great information on there. It says, if you're using a hire letter or a letter from your HR department, exactly what information is needed on that. So you can go ahead and reference that. Oh, and I don't know if I think that this was already shared, but I just want to make sure that video is now available in Spanish as well. So if you go onto the CalGrows website and then it should be on the right hand side under, I think it's on the get paid. Um, site? I don't remember anymore. I'm sorry. Who am I? Yeah, it's on the website, and then just below that, there's a link for it available in Spanish as well. So for everyone that has learners who are Spanish speaking only, or they understand better in Spanish, then definitely please share that link for everybody. And I can get that link here in just a second. I'm going to try to multitask. We'll see how far this gets me. Okay, it is on the Get Paid web on the page for that. So let's see, copy link address. Here we go. So here is the Spanish learner video. There you go. Okay. Okay, so the next topic, the next session that we have is going to be August 15th, and same time, 11 o'clock, and Pacific time for those that are outside of Pacific time. And the topic that I wanted to go over is post-training employment support. So, but if anybody has any other topics or suggestions that they want to discuss during August, of course, the floor will be open for just any questions that you have about the program itself, but anything that you really would like to get feedback on, especially because this is it is the most pivotal session that we'll have. It is the one during the last month available for the incentives to be paid out. So we might even just do, make it half and half discussion, half of the topic, and then half of the programmatic needs and things like that. So, but yeah, just let me know if you have suggestions for that next topic. The other thought that I have is the program ends, the end of September for, scratch what I have on here. We are going to have one in September. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out here now. We are going to have one in September. But what I wanted to offer was hosting but hosting a session for any TA in October. That would definitely be optional. This session, of course, is optional already, but that would be beyond the scope of the program. And so it wouldn't be time, working on CalGrows, but it would be the time that you would be doing your final closeout. It would be the time that you would be doing your final reporting. It might be things that you're wrapping up for your program that we don't see on our end, but I wanted to offer the option for having access and direct access to myself or any other CDA team members in October. So let us know if you want that, if you're open to it, if you prefer that. If you're like, hell no, I'm out of here, then that's fine too. I understand that. So, but I wanted to make sure that we're available to support you to the very end through the closeout of your program. So, throwing that out if October is a meeting option that you all want. So, Sua, your question about staffing?
Yes. I don't know if anybody else has the same question I do, but when we received this grant, we hired staff specifically to work on this grant. And so since the deadline is September, I think 30th, but final reporting is October 31st, when does the state anticipate, staff being completely done on the grant and being able to be billed for that?
That's a really good question that I'm gonna probably ask for you to write to CAGrows at agency.gov. And then our business management bureau team and contracts team can take a look at that and then respond. I don't want to give you wrong information.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the question. If anybody else has that same question, go ahead and just shoot the CalGrows email, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Lena, will you repeat one more time last day to submit reimbursement? Yes. So your your expenses can be through September 30th. Yes, I said that with a question mark, but that's actually a statement. Your your expenses for your program can be through September 30th, and then you close out basically the reporting of your final wrap up of expenditures on the closeout form that is due October 31st. So any of your expenses should be done by September 30th. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Can you please share a bit more about what you meant by CalGrows has copyright access to trainings? I believe you mentioned this before, Breaker. Yes. Yes. So in the contract that CD has with each of you, there is a clause in there. We mentioned it in a previous engagement session, and it's basically that, you know, we are providing these funds to create these training sessions, and because the funds are used to create the training sessions, they're basically they're the property of where the funds were from, which is like the federal and state level. So we are going to be asking for access to those trainings, so that way we can continue hosting those at some point. Again, this is not anything that is implemented yet. It is definitely still in the planning phases, but if you like, I can see if I can pull up the actual contract, and then we can, let me see if I can find where it is in the contract, and then that way we can look at it together. I think that I had like pulled it out already in a previous slide. I'll be right. Ooh, my fingers are tingling. Here we go. Okay. Oop. Why is it not doing that? Okay. So here it is right here. So this is in, what is this? Exhibit. Exhibit C is where this is located. So it's this part right here. So hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, okay, cool. So that is where we have put that section in there, and we mentioned it back when Renita was still here. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we're making that up to date. So okay, cool, awesome. Okay, anything else? We are 3 minutes over. So I do want to wrap up, but I'm going to stop recording and stay on the line for anyone that has questions. Okay.